I woke up this morning to a message from an American firefighter that inspired me to turn my camera on today and make this video. A little while ago, I asked you if you wanted to share your vans with my channel, to just pick up your phone, record a little message, or film your van tour, or whatever you want to send us. Just upload them to Google Drive and send me the download links. And wow, when I put that call out last time, we got so many people, so many videos. It's gonna take me a while to get through them all, but don't worry, slowly and gradually, bit by bit, I will get those stories told here to our community. Today I want to share the story of the firefighter with you, also a little piece of my story, and a gentleman that I had the chance to meet in Calgary over the summer that sent me an amazing video that I want to share with you.
Good morning, CRUZ. Good morning, buddy. There was no cars around me when I went to bed last night. Zero. And I didn't hear any of these guys pull in at all. That's all the staff. I think this is what makes places like this feel safe, is that you're not alone. You know what I mean? Like, these are staff and their personal vehicles, so I'm pretty sure somebody keeps an eye on the parking lot. I don't know. I sleep pretty good in these little spots. This road is ice. Oh yeah, back tires are just a spinning. Okay, come on. Come on. Let's make this hill. My back tire's on a slow, steady turn. Careful, buddy. Ooh, I don't like this black ice stuff, man. I hate it. Tried to trim my beard up a little bit, but it's been so long I forgot how I did it. Because before it's easy, you just trim around the already existing lines. Now I don't even know. So I'm just gonna play around with it until whatever. Looks a little better anyway. I was going through some messages on social media and I came across one here from a firefighter in the USA, and he says, "Hey Chrome, I just wanted to take a minute and say thanks. I found your videos a few months ago and really enjoy your content. I especially focused on your earlier videos where you were beginning your van life. And if you're watching this right now and you're looking at starting van life as a full-time thing, please go back and watch my earlier content. I know it's a big thing to ask because there's so many videos back there. But when I started my journey over 4 years ago, I ran my camera every day and we experienced everything I went through day by day, all the struggles, my finance stuff, building my van with basic plastic cabinets and strapping things to the walls. You get a chance to go through all my learning phases with me. So go back there, you guys. I have a playlist called Binge Watch It All and Just Start. I know that's going to take you a long time, but trust me, if you want to start this lifestyle and you really enjoy my approach to things, my common sense approach to things, go back there. There's some amazing stuff. Even I go back there sometimes to go see some of the chaos we got up to. But there's some really good content back there. Anyway, he says, your content helped me realize my living situation was not what I wanted for my life. I'm in my first month of living on the road. My situation is a little bit different than other nomads you show on your channel. He is a full-time firefighter. And I'm just going to skip through it. It gets a little long. He says because of that, he has access to a kitchen and showers on a daily basis. I'm guessing at the fire hall. He should be debt-free in about 6 months, and after that, he can start living life on his own terms. And man, I feel that. It took me 9 or 10 months of living in my van, sacrificing the creature comforts of a home to live in a small tin can and on the side of the road somewhere. I had the ability to get out of debt in 9 or 10 months. So 6 months is a very beautiful thing. He said he's working a bunch of overtime right now. Anyway, he just wanted to thank me and offer me a beer if I'm ever down in his area. So firefighter from the US, thank you so much for sending me through this message. And this will hopefully show you guys that if you're in a poor financial situation, and anybody can be in a poor financial situation, I don't care what you do for a living, whether you're a firefighter or a DJ like I was, or you're just working a traditional production line job or something like that. We all, I think, come from a past of, or currently living in, a situation where you live paycheck to paycheck. My whole life, I had a piece of paper folded up inside of my wallet that I would pull out every day and just make sure my money is going to the right places. And it wasn't that long ago that I was looking at my little thing going, okay, this much money goes to here, this much money goes to here, and this goes to there. And then I figure out my week, and I realize I have $35 left to get me through until I used to get paid every week, until my next paycheck, right? So I get $35 a week, and sometimes $18. And I remember writing that down, going, $18, what can I do to like make this like $50 so I can like at least go get coffee or something? And it took me realizing that I was paying so much money just to do the basics in life. When I say on this channel that I never want to pay rent again, what I mean by that is paying to sleep, paying to shower, I still pay to shower. I have a gym membership. It's still cheaper than rent. I used to pay to do the life basics. Poop, shower, have a kitchen, and have a nice warm place during the day to shelter from the rain. I was paying $1,300 a month. It was more than that though, because I had to pay for my parking spot, which is an extra $100. So that was $1,400 a month. And then you got apartment insurance. So you're looking at $1,500 a month. And the commutes to get back and forth to home, it's $1,600, $1,700 a month. It's insane the amount of money I used to pay just to sleep at night. So when I sacrificed all the comforts of my big, beautiful apartment overlooking the city to live in this van, my world changed. Because now, much like that firefighter, I get to live life on my own terms. I no longer have that foldable piece of paper in my wallet because I sacrificed my biggest bill in my life. Oh, guys, it whittles you away down to being trapped and stuck in a circle that just never stops. And that's why I dropped it all and moved into the van, because that circle just never quit. Because when you have $35 left over, what do? You end up being a slave to having to dedicate your awake life to one thing. So that's when I moved into my van and I cut out my biggest bill. It was shocking when you get to put that $1,300 that you were paying for rent in your pocket. Guys, van life is such a beautiful thing, and I truly feel like I'm an ambassador for it, because I've been doing this for so long and been through so many different elements of this lifestyle. Starting off broke and then getting to where we are here today, living in a super built out badass vehicle. I want my story to inspire you guys to see what I have in my life today, and to know that 4 years ago, go back and watch. 4 years ago what I had, and now what I acquired now because of hard work and sacrificing the creature comforts of a standard living space. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Anyway, guys, I have a few little video clips that a few subscribers have sent me through, so I'm going to attach them at the end of this video. Be inspired, you guys. Be inspired. Don't look outside of you for inspiration. Inspire yourself to do something amazing. Make the changes that you want to make in your life. And I know dropping everything and doing something different, whether it's a career change or dropping a nasty relationship and doing something outside of what you've been used to every day, is really, really, really hard. but you have to believe when your heart says yes and your mind says yes, you have to believe that that's what you want, because you know you best. And when something in here says this isn't right, we gotta quit. We gotta drop the relationship. We gotta ditch the rent and move into a van or whatever it is. You gotta believe in that, because you have the answers. You do. So stop fighting what's going on in here and in here and just make the leap. I did. My firefighter did. He just dropped it all and just said, forget it. I need a change. And that's what happened with me. When you get the thoughts in your mind and your heart and you just go all in. And that's how I've been. That's how I got into van life, is I'm like, once this and this said, yep, I was like, go. And I dropped it all, sold everything. Within 3 weeks, everything was gone. And I was inside of my van within 3 weeks of my mind and heart saying, yes, let's do this. And I'm a go all in kind of person, because when the heart knows what it wants, like my shop, I pondered these thoughts for a long time. And once they clicked, let's do it, I went all in on the shop. At least that you can visibly see. I'm that person. So follow what's in here, guys. It knows best, as cliche as it is. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with some clips of some of our subscribers that have made the change as well. Thanks for watching.
Hey Chrome bro, this is for you, man, and Cruzy Bear. I just wanted to thank you, man, just for being you on your YouTube channel, man. You are truly light and love to the world, man. I thank you for being who you are, bro. You are a special man. You're a weirdo. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You're a weirdo who shows lots of love to his people, man, and to the world. So I thank God for you, bro. You know, I sitting back and just thinking about my whole journey, man, and how I got started, and you were one of my inspiration. I watch a number of YouTubers who do van life, and some of them have kind of gone on to doing other things. They're not even living the van life anymore, so I don't really watch those people anymore. But there's a couple more that I still watch. You being the number one person that I truly enjoy watching, and I want to thank you for that. I also want to thank you for your graciousness, man. When I ran into you at Tyro Coatings, I didn't run into you. I actually stalked you. I had slept just outside of Calgary, in a small town in Alberta, and I got up early, did the Chrome thing, and got some coffee, and just got on the road early, just as the sun was coming up over the horizon. Man, I love that too, dude. When I see you do that stuff, I'm just like, yeah, that's exciting, man. So I got up, did that, got into Calgary pretty early, just kind of drove around the downtown area, and was marveled at how beautiful that city is. And I kind of drove around a little bit for a while, and then I parked in front of a park, and I thought, okay, this is a great spot to kind of gather my thoughts and plan my day out and just figure out what sites I want to see, what I want to do, what restaurant I want to hit, what I want to eat. And I hear this bing, and it's you, man. It's for your members only on your YouTube memberships. And you were saying where you were, and I'm like, oh my God, he's in Calgary? And I looked it up, and it was like a mile and a half from where I was sitting, dude. And I'm like, I can't pass that up. My favorite YouTuber. So I came to see you, man, and I just thank you for your graciousness, man. I'm truly grateful for that, man. You could have been like, this dude's weird, get out of here. But I just want to thank you, man, for just being who you are and just sharing yourself with the world, man. And I've got a YouTube channel too, and I hope to do the same. Hopefully someday I can be doing this full time. Fortunately and unfortunately, I still have to work a full-time job, but the beauty is I get to do it remotely. And yeah, but whenever I'm watching video or editing video or you know, doing my own filming, I'm having the time of my life. So I feel you when you're doing that, when you're out there living life and enjoying the world, and you and Cruzy Bear out there having a good time. I feel that too, man. And someday, hopefully, I'll be there too and be a full-time vlogger. All right, bro. Hey, if you decide to do it, man, I'm gonna make my best effort to get into BC, and if they even open up the borders again during Christmas time, if you decide, man, I'd love to meet you again, and other fellow Van City Life viewers and weirdos out there, man. Weirdos unite, man.
Hey folks, Tony here, weirdo and subscriber to Van City Van Life. Chrome put out the call to have subscribers and viewers who live in vans put out a tour. So here I am, and here it is. I'm currently at a trailhead here in Boulder, Colorado to go hike up the Flatirons, and it's a beautiful day today. Here it is. It is a 2017 Ford Transit Connect. And I'll go into a little bit of my story after I show the van itself, but we'll start here in the back. So we'll start with the doors. So this was just like plain wood. This was an empty cargo van when I purchased it. It's a Transit Connect, so it's it's basically a minivan. You see a lot of companies like FedEx or what have you, they use these vans for their smaller routes, I'm sure. And I see a lot of plumbers and electricians using these vans too as well. So mine came as right from the dealership, used, and it was just a bare shell, nothing in there whatsoever. This here was just like a plywood, and I reupholstered this myself. I'm proud of that. And built all the cabinetry in here from scratch. Everything in here is from scratch. I don't have much of a garage. This is it. It's just on some little click rollers there. And in here you can see I have some storage. I also have a very important thing, especially last night when it got down to about 28 degrees Fahrenheit and it was a little chilly. So I turned it on for a little bit. Haven't quite figured out how to master this controller. So it's set as high as it can go. So I can't even leave it on for more than 15 minutes and I'm just roasting in here. So I had it set at one point and can't leave the power on all the time. So once the power goes off, it resets to 0 again. And speaking of power, that's the first cabinet here in the back. Power, I'm using Jackery. Now, thanks to Chrome, he's a great ambassador for this company. I had been doing research, and that's how I discovered Chrome when I was in my research stage of building my van. He was recommending the Jackery, and I thought, great price, great product. I've put this thing through hell, and almost a year of being on the road, and it's still performing very well. As you can see right now, I'm at 100%. Not really pulling much. I've got my laptop charged in. I've got my internet charged in. And that's it. I don't have my lights on yet, but this is for my power supply in here, which controls everything in the van. My lights, my fan, my Max Air fan, pretty much everything I want to plug in here controls from here. These are my aqua bricks. So I've only got one filled right now, but I have the capacity for 6 gallons of, they're 3 gallons each. I have the capacity for 6 gallons of fresh water. So we'll roll around the side here. Also, before we go to the inside, I'm using a Renogy 100 watt solar panel. And this thing on average puts out about, sun's right overhead, I get about 61 watts of power through there coming into the Jackery, which is nice. And then that's my attic, basically. My Yakima, I think it's a 12 Pro rocket box. And that is also a space saver because I don't have much space, as you know, in this small little van. So we'll go to this side here. I'd say about 2 to 3 months after I had finished my build, I ordered from the UK this little device here, which you usually find in boats. This is the Lagoon table. So Lagoon mount, basically you get the mount and then you get the mounting pole here. And I had to basically fashion and build my own tabletop out of some extra wood that I had. And so when I want to work in my van, I just pop this out and I put it on top of here, and I have the ability to swivel and do whatever I want in terms of having access to work in the van. I've got controls here for my fridge, which is actually into my cigarette lighter for my car. So I'm running it off the car battery now as opposed to the Jackery. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tour. Very abbreviated, but I just want to share a little bit about my story.
I started on the road December 28th of 2020, and I've been basically living on the road ever since. I have an address that I have back at home base, and I was actually in my home state for the last 5 months, but I was pretty much going stir crazy sitting in one place for that long. And even though I have an address and a place that I have to stay, a friend of mine owns the house, I chose to live in this van even when I was at home base for those 5 months in limbo. Now, there were a couple weekends, like I said, I went up to the North Shore of Lake Superior, which is only like 2.5, 3 hours from my home base, which was nice. I did that a couple times just to get a break and just take a breath, which was nice. But for the most part, this is it. I'm living the van life. There's been times where I've been on the road, especially when I was in Austin, Texas, and I lived in a hotel for about 3 nights because I just could not live in here. The ice that had been compacted under my vehicle for my almost 20-hour drive that I made from New Mexico to Texas wouldn't allow me to turn my diesel heater on. So I had to rent a room, and thank God, because I was stuck there. Like I said, I thought it was only be one night, but the roads were just horrible. So I was stuck there for 4 days altogether. At any rate, I'm living the van life, and I love it. This is not for everybody, and that's one of the things I wondered. I initially started out with the idea that I would build a tiny house, basically one of the ones you see on the trailers. That had been my passion, and I had researched and actually went to a tiny house convention in Colorado Springs one year, thinking I was going to do it, but I could never find the land that I needed to do it on, and I wasn't ready to purchase any land at the time, so I kind of gave up on that. But I just kept kind of keeping my dream going, and then I got into van life. By looking at tiny homes, that kind of led me into van life. I'm thinking, why don't I do that? And it took me a couple years to get it together and just make the jump and buy a van. But once I did it, I knew in my mind what I wanted. I didn't do what Chrome did in terms of living in the van, discovering what you want. I did live in the van, but I lived in my van in my mind before I got in the van. So I'm in here. There's really not much I would change other than some of my carpentry skills have improved since I built the van. I'd probably want to rebuild my bed. There's a style of bed that I like, that I would like to do in here, which makes it a lot easier in terms of my storage situation and how I access my clothes and dishes and things like that in here. That's the kind of bed I'd redo. If I could do it, if I had more space, I would definitely maybe have more capacity for another solar panel on top, and maybe I'd get a bigger jackery to have more power and wattage and that kind of thing, and a bigger inverter so I can power some bigger things in here too as well. But other than that, I don't think I'd really change much in here. I love it. People ask me, well, how do you can't stand in there, and you're a tall guy, how can you live in such a small place? Well, I don't live in here. I live out in the outdoors. Like I said, I'm here in Boulder, Colorado. When I'm done with this, I'm going to go for a hike, and then I'm back in the vehicle to drive to a spot. It's a Friday. I've really cut back on eating out, which was a problem for me for the past several months, is going to fast food places because it's just so convenient. But I thought, hey, Friday or a Saturday, I'll treat myself to a nice meal. So I'm looking at doing some Thai food once I wrap this up. All right, folks. Well, that concludes it. That's the tour of my van, a little bit of my story. I do have a more in-depth van tour on my YouTube channel. That's where you can find me at Untethered Livin'. Not living, but livin'. Livin. That's what I'm doing. I'm not living to any standards of what normal society says I should do. I'm living in a van. In fact, I had a friend of mine I hadn't seen in years before I left my home base town, and I had ran into him, and he said, hey, how's it going? He was just happy to see me, and he said, well, where are you living now? I said, well, I live in a van. He says, oh man, are you okay? And I said, no, man, it's by choice. He said, oh, okay. So people just think you're weird. Well, I am a weirdo, and I'm proud of it, so That's why I've been attracted to the Van City Van Life channel, because that's my tribe. Weirdos unite. All right, folks, have a great day.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and thank you to Tony for sending us through that amazing video and sharing a little piece of your van and your story with our community here. Hopefully people like Tony and the firefighter story inspires you guys to do something amazing, and I know my audience here is full of inspiration. So if you have anything you want to share with our community, send me through the video clips, upload them to Google Drive, and send me through the download links, and I'll do my best to get them into a video as soon as I can. And to the American firefighter, there was a little piece of your message that I didn't read out, but I want to say something to you. Be proud of what you're doing, because one day amazing things are going to happen. Your life is going to flip upside down and completely change because of the life choices that you made. Be that inspiration to others, and be proud of the choices that you make. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys soon.